It's Christmas time. It's Christmas time.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So today is gonna be episode 16 of my Readmas challenge. So I hope you guys have been enjoying as much as I have. And like I said in episode 15 yesterday, I'm gonna still stay around the Eden's series and Devney's universe. Because like I said, if you don't know, you have the Eden series, which is a series of books, and each book is telling the love story of one of the brother and sister of the Eden's family. So there are 6, and then you have their parents and Harrison. Other than that, Devney decided to do a short Christmas story that was set in Quincy so that she can give the premises and present the town before. I think the short story came out before the series, and so it was a way for her to introduce the town of Quincy, the Eden's family, and what they do, because you see them appear here and there, but they're not the main character of this series. So I thought it was really, really nice. So she called it Christmas in Quincy, and it's a novella. I think it's around 130 pages or so, so it's not really long to read. I think usually her books for the rest of the Eden series are about 500 pages or less, something like that. So yeah, so this story is about Cleo Hillcrest, and basically she's a billionaire heiress or something like that. Her dad remarried to a woman named Celine, and he's been living this lavish life that she doesn't really agree with since she remarried, and she's explaining that she want to get away from all of that just for one Christmas. They used to have those lavish Christmas parties all throughout the week before Christmas, and she doesn't really agree with that. On top of that, she doesn't connect with Celine, her stepmother, or her stepbrother that she had with her dad, or none of that. And she's angry at her dad because he always had security surrounding her, for safety reasons, because obviously when you have such a fortune, you want to make sure that your kids are not, kidnapped or something like that, to exchange against money. So she always had bodyguards, but he promised that he stopped doing that a few years ago. So she goes to Quincy and she checks in at the Eloise Inn, and you're gonna learn that is the hotel managed by Eloise, one of the daughter of the Eden's family. There's a restaurant attached to it, and it's managed by her brother Knox, and then you have also a cafe in town managed by one of her sisters. So really the Eden's family is all around Quincy, right? So she checks in, she meets Eloise, and she's explaining that she's here to spend Christmas, so a few days. I think it's not long, like 3 or 4 days. And she asks for champagne, so she just want to spend time alone and be able to celebrate Christmas on her own terms. What she doesn't know is that her dad never really stopped caring for her. He never stopped sending security to take care of her. And this time he sends a man named Austin, and she really doesn't like this decision of his because she has a crush on Austin, and she never understood the animosity he had towards her. He was really rude to her on a few occasions. He criticized her food because she's explaining that she's a pastry chef, so she has like a pastry shop, a cafe that she can take care of, and she just let it in the hand of her manager when she left. But she does all of the pastries for the cafe herself, and he never once complimented her food or her pastries, right? So she's thinking that he has a problem with her, and because he has a lot of animosity towards her. Come to find out, because the book is written in the POV of Austin and Cleo, we learn that actually Austin has a huge crush on her. But the thing is, he needs her, that company, to be able to take off. So basically, he built a security company, and being hired by such a fortune like Cleo's dad, it was good for business for him, because he's explaining that if he can stick to it for 1 more year, he will be able to stop caring for certain clientele, so celebrities and all of that, and really get his securities company to the next level. So for him, the way to go was to be, rude and standoffish with Cleo so that she wouldn't be aware of his feelings, or nobody around him would be aware of that, because if so, he would lose his job. Because obviously, if Cleo's dad would be to find out that he has a crush on his daughter, he would lose his shit, basically. So what happened next is that when Cleo found out that he's there to take her home, initially she refused, and she's like, I'm going to stay there whether you like it or not. So the first few days she refuses, so he has to buy clothes and everything and toiletries, so he's been able to stay with her. Because the kicker is when he tries to find a room at the Eloise Inn so that he can stay close to her and surveil her in a sense, he's unable to get one because the hotel is fully booked, because Quincy in all of the books, we are explained that it's a really touristy town, especially around Christmas, because it's one of those small towns in Montana that people dream to visit and, to really experience the full Christmas spirit. So he's unable to get a room, even in the next town or anything like that. So they have to room together. At first, he proposed to sleep on the floor, but it doesn't really work that way. And there's a lot of sexual tension between them because obviously both of them are attracted to each other, but they don't really know because they don't talk about it. So they spend time together, they go shopping for Christmas gifts, and she learns that he was supposed to spend Christmas with his brother and his mother, who he has been taking care of. And she instantly feels guilty and she's like, listen, let's just go home. She tries to find a plane because initially he came with her dad's private plane, but you cannot hold off those planes forever. So he brought it back to LA. And so she's like, listen, let's just go home. Let's just make it to Los Angeles. Maybe if we book a flight immediately, we can be there for Christmas Eve and you can spend time with your mom. But it's like, listen, it's too late for that. It's okay. We're going to spend Christmas together. So what they do is that they go have food at the restaurant of Knox. And it's funny, I forgot to mention, she has a funny encounter with Knox because one morning she's awake and starving. And because she's hangover, she drank all of the champagne the night before. And she goes to the kitchen and Eloise is not there, but her brother Matteo, who is the one that is going to be in the last book of the Eden series, by the way, Sable Peak. And Matteo is telling her they have coffee but no pastry or anything to eat. And she's like, can I use the kitchen because I can make some? So she starts making muffins and cinnamon rolls and all of that. And obviously Knox, as a chef, when he comes back and he sees that somebody is using his kitchen, he starts to lose it. And he's like, what the fuck? But then he understands that she's actually a good pastry chef and he lets her use his kitchen and do pastries with him. So it was a funny anecdote that I wanted to throw out there. So yeah, they have dinner at the restaurant and then one thing leads to another. They end up having sex and they end up confessing their feelings toward each other. And we're going to see in the rest of the book how they're going to make it happen so that their relationship is accepted by her dad and by everybody and how they're going to go about it. So I'm going to leave it at that so that I don't spoil you guys. I feel like I've spoiled so much of the plot already. But yeah, I loved it because, it's Devney Perry. It's safe. It's something that I always enjoy. I love her book. She's somebody that has a great pen. She knows how to do storytelling. She knows how to character build. So I don't know. There's nothing that I can say that is negative about her book. So I would give it 5 stars. No hesitation whatsoever. And I really enjoyed this story. And I hope that we see a glimpse of them in the last book because I don't think we've heard about them, Chloe and Austin, in all of the Eden series. So it would be nice to have a glimpse of them maybe in the last book or something like that. But if not possible, I would understand. But it was a nice story and it's a complete standalone. So you don't have to read the Eden series in order for you to be able to understand. So just go ahead, read it and let me know what you think. So I will leave you guys and I will see you tomorrow in episode 17 of my Readmas challenge. I hope you guys have a great evening, day, or whenever you guys are watching. Bye.
Season of peace is finally here.